We start with the official agenda. Kazakhstan is strengthening ties with another African partner, the Democratic Republic of the Congo. This Wednesday, at the invitation of President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev, Congolese President Felix Tshisekedi has paid a state visit to Astana. The two countries issued a joint statement, signed several agreements and set a roadmap for cooperation, including but not limited to the joint projects in geology and the mining sector. The visit underlines what Africa is now a clear priority for Kazakhstan's foreign policy. Why is interest in the continent accelerating, and what concrete opportunities did this high-level dialogue unlock? We will explore that in our next report. From Astana to Kinshasa, more than 7,000 kilometers apart, but this week that distance felt a lot closer. The state visit of President Felix Tshisekedi sent a clear signal. Kazakhstan and the Democratic Republic of Congo are looking to tighten ties, politically and economically, as it was reinforced by the DRC's foreign minister speaking to our reporter with the president's special project on the sidelines of the talks.
Diplomatic relationships have been established 3 years ago, so it's a milestone for us to see these taking greater shape. We look forward to intensifying diplomatic ties through more frequent consultations, diplomatic and political consultations between Kazakhstan and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And as you heard, there are many fields in which our two countries have parallels, have shared and mutual interests, and we look forward to making use of diplomacy as a way to facilitate stronger relationships between the two countries.
At the top of the agenda of talks has been bilateral cooperation, and by the look of it, this partnership is only getting stronger. The DRC sits on one of the world's richest mineral endowments. Copper, cobalt, coal and tins, the raw materials driving today's energy transition and digital boom. That makes these resources strategically important for Kazakhstan as well. And not forgetting the demographics, with population now over 100 million, Congo represents a vast and growing market for Kazakh engineering, chemicals and food experts. Kazakhstan in turn brings expertise Congo wants: mining know-how, energy projects, digital solutions and agricultural tech, all in high demand across Africa.
Congo's role on the international and regional stage is growing. In this regard, we believe today's talks will help strengthen ties between Central Asia and Africa. Expanding cooperation with African countries is one of the key priorities of our nation's foreign policy.
President Tokayev highlighted Congo's vast potential in critical raw materials, noting on the resources that keep global supply chains moving. While President Felix Tshisekedi has said that his country is ready to take cooperation even further, not just in trade but on the global stage. Notably, one key area between them has also been peacekeeping. In 2022, under President Tokayev's initiative, Kazakhstan sent its own troops to serve in the DRC as part of the UN mission, a sign that this partnership is built on more than just economics.
Of course, our countries are far from each other, but visits like this bring us closer and help us get to know one another better. We already work closely with your country through ERG, which is active in the mining industry. But I believe there are many other areas where we can expand cooperation and share experience.
In Astana, President Tokayev honored Felix Tshisekedi with the honor of Dostik of the first class, the first time an African leader has ever received the award. But beyond the ceremony, President Tokayev wanted trade and economic ties to be front and center in the relationship. But the challenge is that for now, as Deputy Prime Minister Garing admitted, the actual trade turnover between the two nations is still relatively modest.
Our Kazakh company ERG is investing in mining assets in the Democratic Republic of Congo. This is a long-term, long-standing partnership. As for trade turnover, it is of course low, $4.7 million last year. With Africa overall, the trade turnover isn't very large either, about $750 million, mainly with Morocco and Egypt.
Eventually this week, the two sides signed fresh agreements, from diplomatic consultations to cooperation in mining and geology. President Felix Tshisekedi, who arrived on September 9, even took time to visit Kazakhstan's armored vehicle plant, which is a part of a bigger picture. In recent years, Africa has been moving high on Astana's foreign policy map. The Accorda has recently welcomed leaders from Rwanda, Guinea-Bissau and the Republic of Congo, with Tshisekedi now adding to that growing list. New Time.